So hi, I am here making a video about relationships again. And this is a point that emerged that I listened to in quite actually a few of the Eqafe interviews. So I'm not going to name any particular interview. It's not really relevant in this context either. But the point that was mentioned is how, a particular point I can say that I noticed is how, you know, when you go to couples therapy to learn how to be effective in a relationship together. And so what was mentioned in one of the interviews is how absurd it is that people only go to learn how to be effective together and how to appreciate each other and respect each other and learn tools and skills so that they can be in a relationship. They only do that basically when it's too late, when the one part has cheated on the other part, or one part wants to end the relationship, or both parts, when there's like a crisis. And this is quite profound, I find, is that there's this expectation in society that somehow love is gonna take care of everything, that we don't have to learn basic communication skills and develop ourselves, but that we're supposed to enter into a relationship, and then when it's the right person, everything just clicks and you're perfect and they're perfect and you're so sweet and nice and considerate of each other, and then communication just blossoms out of the blue. And as we all know, that obviously doesn't happen. And I'm just lowering my arm because I'm holding the camera and it's kind of heavy. And so we've all noticed, and we all know that is of course not real. It doesn't happen like that. And so many relationships have I not, for example, ended in thinking, oh, this is never gonna work. You know, this person, they don't get me, and they don't respect me, or you know, we just grew apart or whatever. And so this is where being in an agreement and walking with destiny has literally changed my entire life and my entire perspective on relationships and on love. If you go back to one of my very first videos, or actually the first videos that I made, was on the Destiny farm, and they were about love and how I had lost faith in romantic love. And then what had happened was that I had projected this after I sort of said, okay, romantic love is bogus, it's not real. Then I turned my attention to spiritual or cosmic love, until I then discovered that wasn't real either. But now I'm actually walking a committed relationship with all the assistance and support available you could imagine. From the beginning, from the get-go, we are developing ourselves in relationship together. And it's completely different than any other, like any ideas I had about relationships before and about what makes a relationship great. It's completely different. And for the most part, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time and consideration, and you know, you can't just waltz into a relationship and then everything sorts itself out. The two people sometimes they come from different cultures, they come from different backgrounds, they have different vocabularies, they have different attitudes towards cleaning the house. There are so many things that, you know, that has to be agreed upon and communicated about, and finding ways to work together. And when that happens and when that becomes possible, it's really cool. But it's a practical living agreement, and it's not based on emotions or feelings. And you know what that makes it? It makes it real. It's actually a real relationship. For the first time in my life, I'm in a real relationship, a real committed relationship. And it's not based on fuzzy, warm and cuddly emotions or experiences. So you know, my partner and I, we're working the agreement course, and we're listening to, like I said in the last video interview, I'm listening to all the interviews on Eqafe that has to do with relationships, and you know, I'm writing this blog series on relationships, so I am pushing myself to change who I am in relationships. But the primary point of realization, the most important realization, and the realization that set me free, where I set myself free from chasing after relationship, is the realization that it wasn't real, that I have to stand as that point. My partner is not gonna, you know, he's not gonna be some kind of magic ingredient that waltzes in and then I'm suddenly a different person because of him. It doesn't work like that. It's a romantic fantasy, and a real committed relationship takes work and effort and dedication and commitment.